Hey, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast, VMware Explore 2025 coverage. John, it's general session day, lots of announcements. How you feeling?
No, I was trying to get the inside track on that, figure out what's going on, but it's still, I feel like I was blindsided by some of these announcements.
Yeah, I was blindsided by the fact that you got called out specifically on the general session stage about you helping a customer. So kudos to you, my friend.
If you yap enough, occasionally you help somebody. So,
But one of the big announcements that came out of the general session is private AI now being, instead of an advanced service, actually being part of the core platform. So we want to talk about that and some other announcements with our good friend, Mr. Himanshu Singh. Himanshu, welcome back.
Thank you. Great to be here again.
Yeah, so very busy day for you, I'm sure. Lots of conversations, especially after the general session. Why don't we just start with the big announcement about this new switch from private AI being part of the core platform?
Yeah, it's all about making VCF an AI native platform, right? It's bringing all these private AI services, all these capabilities that we've built over the past 3-4 years and making it available to our customers, not as a separate advanced service anymore, but just available within VCF. Simplifies things for the customer. It's one SKU. We've talked about VCF as the single platform to run VMs and containers for all your traditional apps and modern applications. Add AI to that list now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The value that we keep adding and adding to VCF year after year is just astounding. And there's so much more to come, right? The idea of having these developer-focused and data scientist-focused services, as well as all the capabilities we've built that are supporting our cloud admins and IT admins in the context of building, deploying, running AI workloads is now all part of VCF, right? So it just opens a massive opportunity for all of our customers.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's some people that actually, went on VCF 9, probably didn't start with the, trying to use private AI, and now do those customers also now have the option to just go straight to, now it's available to any VCF 9 customer?
It's all about anyone who's got VCF 9 that gets access to all these capabilities.
we've got AI for the people. We're bringing it out there. But I love this because, we started with obviously making, with automation, trying to make it easy to consume virtual machines, then easy to consume containers, and then now, AI is just another application. You can bring those models in, go through those workflows. Obviously, software is something that we love yapping about and talking about, but what about hardware? What is, I see some hardware vendors here. I saw there were some announcements. I love things that heat up my data center, or in my case, heat up my home closet.
Sure,
John's a server hugger.
Yeah, there's a few things on that space as well, actually. So we've been working with NVIDIA for the longest time. We've got more than a decade-old partnership at this point. We have the NVIDIA, the VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA as our joint offering on AI. So it gets further enhancements. Of course, now with all the AI services included in VCF, it makes it easier for customers. So all they need is the AI, the NVIDIA AI suite from NVIDIA, and they have that stack. But in addition to that, we also talked about, we announced today in terms of upcoming support for some of our the NVIDIA Blackwell platform GPUs. So
B200.
The B200 on the GX kind of platform, and also the RTX Pro 6000. So, the B200 is just a beast, right? It just
that's
brings
like the data center
performance
GPU,
like
right?
crazy. It's I think they said NVIDIA talks about 2.5 times more performance when it compares to the Hopper platform and whatnot. And then you've got the RTX Pro 6000, which is it's one of those it's the flexible kind of beast, basically. So you can use it for VDI and visual computing, and you can use it for core AI applications as well. So it's worker by day and then vigilante by night or whatever.
I like this. My VDI users log in by day, and then at night I go fine tune some models and do some other things. So.
Absolutely. So we've always as VMware been about get the most out of your hardware, right? And we support all those use cases for that.
That is something that I thought that anybody who had a giant pool of GPUs, they just ran 100% all the time on training runs. And there's actually a lot of downtime. Some of these hyperscalers are doing super training, they have 2 nines availability because, whatever, we'll shed some power or whatever. They've got time between runs, they're reloading stuff. So there is a lot of efficiency that needs to be gained in that space when you're, buying these cards that, cost, I don't know what a Toyota Camry does. So
it's the same idea, right? What we did with CPUs, we want to make sure that we bring that to the GPUs as well. The more you virtualize, the more you leverage kind of core VMware properties, the better ROI you get from all your investments in hardware. It's just as simple as that. Applies to everything that we do essentially.
So also on the hardware side, so we've got the the GPUs. We've done all this great work with CPUs. What about the other things in the I/O path, the network connectivity, the storage? What else?
Yeah, so on networking actually, so that's another exciting one. So what we're doing is we're bringing in kind of enhanced direct path I/O support into workloads that are running on like large kind of multi-node AI workloads basically. So we announced support for the NVIDIA ConnectX 7 as well as the Bluefield 3. And so the idea is, hey, all that fast networking and all the kind of the GPU Direct RDMA, GPU Direct storage capabilities from NVIDIA are available again as a VCF customer, right? A lot of this raw power just being available to VCF just makes it such a more compelling reasons to kind of build your AI workloads on the VCF platform.
Do you think that all AI workloads depend specifically on GPUs, or are there some that can do it without GPUs?
No, so absolutely, they can. I mean, as far as customers are concerned, they're looking at different types of use cases, right? You've got, I think, what typically we talk about like smaller language models or whatever. You can use like, CPU-based inferencing kind of use cases and those as well. And as well as, you can have a variety of different kind of underlying platforms that you support. Whether it is kind of Intel or NVIDIA or AMD, for example. And we've always stood for, broad ecosystems. It's true for vSphere, it's true for VCF, and certainly true for all what we're doing in the AI kind of space right now. In fact, that does remind me of another massive, announcement we made today with our partnership with AMD.
That's right.
So, I mean, we've been a great partner with AMD for a long, long time, and we're just taking it to that next level by bringing in AI into the mix. So we basically announced, hey, we're going to have support for the AMD Instinct MI350 series GPUs, right? So now customers who are looking to build their AI workloads on the AMD platform, they can basically do it on VCF, right? And on top of that, they can use all the AMD kind of enterprise AI software and everything as well. They can benefit from all the investments and all the work that AMD has done in terms of like open standards with OCP, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this just opens up that private AI ecosystem that we've built as VMware and just takes it to that next level. We talk about like advancing AI together with AMD.
Yeah.
And you're certainly super excited about all these announcements today when it comes to private AI.
It's fascinating because for a long time, I feel like, the server ecosystem hardware was kind of boring. It's like, okay, I'm going to buy 2 Intel processors, so some RAM in there, NIC, maybe a fiber channel HBA. And kind of what was inside a server did not really change for like 10 years. And now we're looking at all these custom offloads and bypasses and RDMA this and GPU that and inference chip. Like, hardware is fun, but you gotta find a way to consume all this, tie this together, make the software and the hardware, bake a beautiful cake together, and it looks pretty nice.
I feel like the most fun part of the whole thing, honestly, is all these different use cases that we're seeing, like all of these different ways people are using AI in general. But then, all of some of those concerns, like, well, we need, it needs to be secure. There's data sovereignty concerns. There's so many different concerns, but I love to see how VCF can offer this secure platform foundation.
Harbor scanning my models and making sure they're trustworthy. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the other time we talked about kind of, Harvard looking at some container images and basically saying, hey, this has a bunch of CVEs open, right? So you can't download that model. So making sure that we're bringing those kind of things into the VCF platform, and that's why like the idea of the private AI services. So the Harbor is basically the back end of the model store that we have as part of the private AI services. We call it model store, model gallery, but same idea, more fancier term, I guess.
I like it.
But the idea of, the basic concept of private AI, when we kind of put that foot down and said, hey, we stand for privacy when it comes to AI. We want to make sure that customers' data is protected, especially with AI workloads. It's all about the data and massive amounts of data.
And it's really been a gating function on access to AI. I was talking to my wife. She's like, I'm trying to get access to AI at work, but they've been trying to figure out how to do it safely and do it the regulatory, and it's starting to get out there. The pieces are coming together to make this, and it is wild thinking that like a model can have a CVE and like thinking of some of this stuff or focusing on the driver compatibility. There's a lot of little details that have to work out, but it's coming together.
The thing. That's why like VMware is here, right? We have to do all that thinking for the customer. You got to make sure it's all secure for them, and then they can focus on building their application.
The Venn diagram of hard and boring is what we're doing to make the excitement happen.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a great week. There's been some great announcements. If you've not been here this week, by all means, get to VMware's website and watch the keynote, watch the general session, check out all the announcements. Tons of blogs out there. Himanshu, thank you so much for joining us on Virtually Speaking, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you for having me. You guys have a great week.